All right. In this video, I want to show you something very special. How to record very clean, because you may, the truth is that you may have never recorded as clean as possible. I would have looked for a very clickbaity title to this video, really, but I'm not thinking of anything yet now. But it's going to be like, you may have never recorded the guitar properly, perfectly before, or just before you press record, you might want to watch this first. Just before you press record, you might want to watch this first. Okay, this applies also to recording vocals. It applies to recording bass, guitar, or any microphone too, or guitar. But the guitars can be very noisy, and bass, they can be noisy because of all the circuits inside and everything. So if this can make guitar clean and perfect, then voice will be extraordinary. So there are a couple of tricks, serious tricks and secrets here that I'm going to show you, that it took me many years to come by, and some plugins you might need, and some special tweaking of those plugins, and how I use them, so that as I'm recording, everything is clean from the get-go. I'm not talking about post-production. Like, as I'm going to record, I've passed through a few things so that when the thing is recorded, it sounds very, very amazing. But not in any particular order. Number one is that your guitar cable, maybe the same might apply to your microphone cable. Your guitar cable, the one that plugs your guitar to your amp or sound card or whatever, that cable shouldn't be on the floor. You might not notice, but if I drop the microphone on the floor, there's more noise than when I lift it up. But now it's a little better after a few. Sometimes it changes. So what I normally would do, what you should do is that you can put the cables on your lap. And one thing to do is that you can listen very carefully to the guitar. Make sure that because when you're recording, you want to record and win some awards and do something really amazing. So you can put the cables on the floor. And check it up. This time around, it's not making any noise, but before it was making a lot of noise. So it depends on the situations and everything. Sometimes you might have to stay a little bit far from the. What's wrong with this camera? Sometimes you want to stay far from the computer. Oh my goodness, Kini. Sometimes you might want to be a little bit far away from the computer. I don't know if I can show you the computer in this case. I'm also recording a computer screen, but I don't know if I can show you that here. Okay, you can see the laptop there. This is the guitar here. It's far enough. If I had my way, I can go even much further. If I had my way, I could even go much further from the PC or the computer. So that's number two. So your cables not on the floor. If it's a carpet, it can make no. And your cable, listen, your cable shouldn't be on the floor. Your cable shouldn't be close to power cables. Now this is an audio cable. Power cable, like adapters of your computers or sound card, the power cables and the audio cables should be separated. That's all, as much as you can. Or if you can take your microphone cables also from the floor, or far from the wire, the cables and the wires and electrical cables, that would be nice too. These small things will help you. Then for the guitar, you need to have some kind of earthing. This cable here that you see here is going from my guitar. It touches any metallic part of the guitar, and the other end goes into the power. It goes into the main socket. It goes into the neutral, not to the negative or the positive, to the neutral. Then I use the adapter of the sound card to plug it in. I did a video about that. You can watch it. or I can link the video to, I can drop the link of that video if I post this video itself to YouTube. This video I might not even post it. This is just, I found out something and I felt I should record it to keep it in case I might need it again, or maybe if I forget this amazing secret. So those are basic, and just keep listening or keep watching. So after that is done, okay, so I'm also doing a screen recording. Look at this. Before we get to the screen recording and the plugins and everything, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if I can. I don't know how to show you this. I might have to make a different video, B-roll, showing you the aftermath of this. Okay, so my guitar is now. If you have an Audient ID14, okay, I can show you closer than that because I'm recording this by myself. Now, it is an ID14 Audient. It could have been any Audient or any other sound card. The better your sound card or your audio interface, the better you have a better sound. Now, watch this. So, from my guitar, cable goes not directly to my sound card. Listen carefully. I know you have an IZ in your guitar, or I know you have an IZ or DI in your sound card. Trust me, from experience and all that I'm doing and all that I've checked, because I'm a person I like the sound to be extremely perfect and faultless. So I found out that that's not the best way. If I take this, I could have showed you all the ones that will give you problem right now, but there's no need to make the video long. If I plug the guitar into the sound card directly and I record an audio, you will notice some noise. And I can't do that now. I'm not going to do that. The video will be too long and most of you will not watch it. So I'm telling you, let me tell you one of the big important things first. Now, my guitar goes through, this is underneath here is my Motu Ultralight MK3. Now, I'm using this as my mixer. So let your guitar go through a mixer. Probably, of course, go through a high Z in your mixer. What is an IZ? IZ is like a kind of a jack that it acts like a DI, because when guitars go into a mixer, they don't get very loud. But if a guitar goes into a high Z, it's just an ordinary input, except that it is meant to give guitar and bass more volume and more clarity. So it's called IZ or DI or something like that. So most mixers have that. Sound card have that. There are other inputs that are not high Z that will be good for mic. If you plug in guitar there, it might make some noise. So make sure the mixer has got an IZ. So plug your guitar to the IZ input. Okay, high impedance input. So from your guitar to a mixer, find any mixer. You can get a mixer for $1. No, I'm joking. Of course, no, $1. Get any mixer, any decent mixer for, I don't know, so many mixers, or another sound card. I'll advise you to buy this Motu Ultralight MK3, the Firewire version, because the Firewire version, people are not buying it anymore because Firewire is gone out of vogue. Apple made Firewire to go out of vogue because Apple thinks they can change the game, or they can dictate what people use and what people not use. They're taking away headphones from smartphones. So buy the Firewire version, because you don't need the Firewire in this case, because you'll see what I mean in a while, because it's got everything. It's got EQ, compressor, limiter, leveler, this little thing you're seeing here, and it's got lots of input at the back as well, so you can plug a lot of things. So you cannot live without this thing, trust me. If you want to have a big ass mixer, it's going to be too long and too big. Maybe it's not good enough for home studio, So I'm just trying to show you how you can do much with little. That's the idea of this video, and probably many of the videos that I'm doing here. So let me recap again. You plug your guitar into the mixer, into the high Z input. Now you can set your EQ. I've carefully tweaked my EQ. I won't go into that here. Maybe I can upload the video of that for this particular mixer or the sound of this let me just call it mixer, this Motu. You know, get your highs very sharp, your mid, everything very nice. Get your leveler. Sometimes when you're playing guitar and you pluck harder, because if you're recording guitar, sometimes it sounds nice, but if you get to a point you start to play a little bit harder, you might notice that it's starting to clip. Because now I turn my volume to the max. Make sure you turn your volume to the max. Some guitars, if you turn the volume a little bit down, watch this, noise comes along. Okay, so turn the volume to the max. Most guitar, some guitars, if you turn a little bit down, it's got some noise. This guitar is a Fender Stratocaster clone. It's the clone, not the actual Fender. It's a SS guitar. So turn the volume to the max. I'm telling you. Now, if you put the guitar, okay, listen. This video is gonna be there's some secrets I'm gonna show you. What I'm just saying is just like scratching the surface. So watch this video to the end. And I might not even post this video, but I think it's so amazing. Someone out there might really need it and be like, oh my God, you saved my life. You saved my life. You helped me. Thank you so much. So that's why I'm doing this video. But I also want to keep it for myself and keep it somewhere in YouTube or somewhere, because it's really useful. What I'm saying here, what I'm going to show you is going to really amaze you, especially if you record guitars or bass guitars or microphones. I don't care at what level, especially if you have a home studio. And this could be also useful if you're a professional already, because I'm going to show you some amazing stuffs in this video. Really amazing. So plug the guitar. Don't plug the guitar into the sound card directly. Let me just give you a shortcut. My guitar is going to the mixer. Then the output of my mixer is going back to my sound card. So instead of going to my sound card directly, I pass through something. If you have a guitar effect, then you can pass through your guitar effect. That might even be better. If you have a guitar effect, some pedals, some bass, some Digitech audio, some Zoom, let your guitar, I don't know, whatever you have, let your guitar cable pass, let your guitar plug first of all to that guitar effect. Then the output can be stereo if you like, but most home studios don't have multiple inputs. In my case, I'm recording the video right now. I'm talking and I'm also playing guitar. So if I'm going to use stereo, then I don't have any more channel for my microphone. And you don't even need the stereo in the first place, because guitar is mono. So when I'm finished recording the guitar mono, well, if you're using the effect from your what's it called, from your guitar effect, if you're using the effect from your guitar pedal, I don't know how you're going to do this, because unless your mixer has got unless your sound card has 4 inputs, because they don't have 3, they're usually 2 inputs or 4 inputs. In my case, my Audient ID14 has got 2 inputs. Most of the sound card I've got 2 inputs, which means 1 mic and 1 guitar. If it's got 4, then no problem. So in my case, I only have 2 inputs, so 1 for my mic and 1 for the guitar. Even though my guitar is going through the mixer, but the output of the mixer goes back into one of the inputs of my main audio interface. And my microphone that I'm speaking with right here, the mic is plugged. Now, my mic is plugged directly into the sound card. That's because my sound card has got very amazing converters, you know, and Bob Brown converters and very nice ADDA converters. So I go straight into my microphone. Not only because of that, because I've tested everything. I've tested the mic going through my mixer, and I've carefully tested it. When my mic goes to the sound card directly, it sounds lush and out of this world. It's just crisp. I can't describe it. So I'm not saying the Motu is bad, but I'm just telling you my experience. So it is what it is. Especially if I let my mic go through the mixer and then from the mixer back to the sound card, that's not even smart. So my microphone can go straight into the sound card. Okay? But my guitar doesn't go straight into the sound card. My guitar goes into something first. Then the output of that into one of the inputs. Okay? Now that's that. So, but remember, you tweak your guitar very well in your digital, in your guitar pedal, or in your in your mixer that you're passing through. Now, let me tell you one very big one. I only wish I could show you by recording it and doing it. The video going to be 1 hour and it's going to be too bad. Someone may not watch it. So what I'm going to show to you is this. When you record, even I'm sitting down right now, it's so difficult for me to stand up because the camera is right here. Everything is so, I'm just not even free enough. So if I had camera that was already set up, then I can move freely because there's the stand right here. I can't even move. I would have loved to show you the back of the sound card and all the inputs. One take the guitar, one take the microphone. So, but I can't move. So, but maybe I can record. I don't know, but even my mouse is right here. Let me just tell you. Let me just share because some of you like to watch videos when it's eye catchy and they're showing you lots of things. Let me just get to the point. I'm going to say it, so use your ears. If you're a musician, you use your ears as a musician. You don't use your eyes. So why do you want me to show you something amazing so listen very carefully to this. Listen very carefully to this. This is the most important part of the video right now. When you record the guitar, the input gain of, okay, now I've got input 1 and input 2. Listen very carefully. I've got 2 inputs in my Audient, 1 and 2. My guitar is going into the input 1. My guitar is going into my mixer. Then from the output of my mixer, I can only put 1 cable. I don't need to put 2 cables because I'm playing 1 instrument. It's a mono channel. So I can put my mono out, the left one most of the time. Cable from that cable goes to the input 1 on my Audient. So my guitar is coming in through MIDI audio input 1. But check this out, very, very important. You see, the level, the input level that you have to set is very, very important. I know you could just set any level that is high and you're checking your meter and everything is good. Don't do that. Set the God, I don't know how to make this video. It's so hard to make videos because people have made videos on YouTube. The standard is so high that you want to show a lot of B-rolls, you want to show a lot of stuff. I can't show these things. I don't even have time for it. Otherwise I wouldn't even have made the video. But I'm still making this video. Let the input level be as quiet as you can. If possible, listen very carefully. If possible, if your input level on the sound card can be turned off, it's still going to bring sound out. You're still going to get some sound because you can't actually turn it off because the guitar is still passing through. It's an amplifier. But you turn, in my case, if you have the Audient, then you can put your input gain at not at 12 o'clock, but at 12, 11, and just a little bit before 11. When I mean 11, they have some markings like that. I can't show you now. I'm so sorry. I cannot show you because I'm sitting down here. I cannot. The camera can be close to that place. I just want to show you almost everything. So make sure it's just before 11. Not 12 is okay. Let's say 12. Okay. Let's say 12 is here or 12 is here. You see one line there, another one for another little line for 11, one for 10, one for 9. They're actually lines and almost like the way the clock is. The one that's before the 12 would be the 11. Just before the 11, let your pan pot be around that place. This pan pot. I don't want to change it even myself because I don't want to change it. So keep it there. Now, when I'm saying 11 o'clock, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe if you have a different sound card, what I'm saying doesn't even mean anything. All I'm trying to say is that let the input gain for your recording the guitar, let it be so quiet that you don't hear the shh from the. Okay, let me just show you. You hear this right now? It's very loud. Now it's completely turned off. Somewhere here. I can't stand up because I just used the back side of the something to note where it is. So, oh my God. What the fuck happened? What is wrong with you? Oh my god. So if you're gonna record and have the best sound from your sound card, especially guitar or bass, the input gain should be so quiet. I know you might be like, but I'm not getting enough volume. Wait, I'm going to show you a few plugins that you can use. It's kind of like I'm kind of showing you like a package that you can use in recording. Your recording will be 100 times better. It's a plugin I'm going to show you, and you've seen a while. So I'm saying that don't be like, yes, I've got a nice level. Yes, it's not clipping, it's good. No, not just that. Let it be, because even when you have a nice gain, the guitar is producing some hum, and the self noise of your sound card or interface has some noise also. Shh. So if you increase, if you make sure it's a nice level, you're gonna have that you're gonna have that background noise more. And even if you lower it all the way too quiet and you're going to normalize, listen, if you record quiet, listen very carefully to this. I want to show my hand. If you record quiet and then later you want to normalize, oh, you're going to be so sorry for yourself. You might not even know you're going to be sorry you might not even realize that until you do what I'm telling you. You notice that this way of recording is way better. Okay? So don't just record very quiet and then normalize. Don't do that. I'm not saying normalizing is bad, but I'm just showing you what I do, what I found out actually that is really amazing. That if somebody showed me this, I'll be like, thank you so freaking much, because I would not have never found this out. So I'm saying that let your level be so quiet. Turn the whole volume down. I mean, the input gain, I'm calling it volume, but no problem. Just a little bit. Okay, for me like that, that's enough. Because if I turn it like this, normally, okay, maybe I would have had it like this. And what I want to have is something like that, but no, from all my tests. So I might even be like, this is okay, but I'm just telling you, put it where I told you, like 11. I'm closing it right now. Here is good, because what I'm telling you, I've recorded and I've checked the playback and saw the one that has less noise. I've seen the one that has the least noise, the least background, not even noise like the haze, the self noise, the guitar, a little bit of humming. And one thing about the guitar, about most Fender style guitar, there's this last one. I don't know what you call it. I don't know too many things about names of this first one here. I don't know which of the pickup that is, but the last one, the first one that when you upwards, the last one is very crisp and very grungy, but it has some little buzz with it. The one that is the second one is very quiet, but there are times you like this one also. The top one is kind of nice for solos of some type. The down one is nice also for solos of some type or some plugins. So if you want to have it ultra quiet, put it in the second one. There'll be no sound, there'll be no noise at all. But I have a trick I'm going to show you that will remove the noise, not after, but just before you record. Better than your noise suppressor in your guitar pedal can ever produce. So anyway, let's go ahead. So let the level of your stuff be quiet enough. That is enough. I've just told you in my case, Audient ID 14, put it at 11 o'clock, but just before 11 o'clock, a little bit 11 o'clock. That would be perfect. So now that you have that, let me go into the computer. I'm sure, like most sound card have an interface on the computer. Like in my case, this is the what's it called? This is the Audient. Anything I play from the computer, this is my voice here. I can see it's clipping, but I need it because I'm recording. I'm recording my voice also into the screen recording. I want it to be as loud as possible because I won't be able to turn the volume loud later. Even if I can, it's too much because I'm recording a lot of things. So, but this one here, if I play music from the computer or from my recording device, my recording program or DAW, it's gonna come from this 3 and 4. It's gonna come from this one. So listen to this one should be like see where it is, 0 dB. I think it's like let me see. Yeah, it wasn't. Let me see. Like just before 0. Don't put it at 0 dB, because if you put it at 0 dB, when you play music from the computer and you're gonna play guitar along, the music will be so much louder that you wouldn't hear your guitar enough. I don't know if you heard me. If you're gonna play music, maybe your background music or maybe what you've programmed, now you're gonna play guitar on top of it. If you let that be at 0 dB, it's gonna sound. Recordings can sound so loud, so it'd be too loud that you won't hear your guitar. Not only that, many other things I won't even tell you. So just keep it before 0 dB at that place. That's like 16. I can't see it. It's so far from me here. In your case, so. Okay, watch this. So this is the 0 dB, just somewhere like that, just turn like that. So that place is good. So that if you play music from the computer or whatever and you're playing guitar, you can hear both. You can hear everything in a good level. Not only can you hear, but it also affects the way the whole thing is working out. So just act like a fool and just do what I'm saying. Trust me. Don't be like, no, 0 dB. No, just do like I'm telling you. All right, excuse me. So now let's leave that. So I think I've got into the main part now. Now let me remove this keyboard so I can be able to remove this keyboard. So okay. Be patient with me, right? I want to. Oh my goodness! I need something to control the mouse. I'm gonna use this for my mouse. Excuse me, my God. You see my mouse? Yeah. Now, so I'm going over to the computer. I'm sure. Let me now show you the magic. So in this case, I'm recording guitar through this channel here, just one of the channels. Let me see. Oh, my mouse is really messing up. Okay, let me use the. Oh my goodness. This is messed up. Oh my goodness! Come on. Okay, let me remove this. Yeah. Now, listen very carefully to this. What I'm about to show you, I'm about to show you a plugin. Not that the plugin is too special, but I've set a noise suppressor. I wouldn't even call it a noise suppressor. Noise suppressor is not. It's not doing it justice. There's a special. Okay. Listen very carefully. This video is so freaking hard for me to do because I'm not in the right place to do it. Everything is not set up, but I'm just forcing myself. You can't believe how little this room is. Anyway, let me see if I can show you my hands also, in case I have to show you both. Okay, don't worry. You can't see my hands, no problem. So now, you see, for example, in Reaper, I use Reaper. You might use Logic Audio, Cubase, Nuendo, Studio One, FL Studio, Pro Tools. Oh my goodness, and on and on and on. Bitwig, uh, Ableton Live, and the list goes on and on and on. In this case, I use Reaper. Now, in your DAW, in my DAW, like for example, let me say I set up. Oh my God, what is going on? So many movements. Yeah. In my DAW, for example, I want to record through this channel. Okay, this particular channel. Let me just say this channel. I've already set all my inputs that this receives my guitar. You can see it's moving. I won't tell you that here. You should know how to do that with your own DAW. But here's the trick. Listen here is the most important part. Every other thing I said before is also part of it, because I've been doing this thing for long. I tried this, it didn't work nice. So everything I said before, it also contributes to the perfection of the sound. In Reaper, there's something called input effects. Input effects, which means let me click it right here. You can see I'm going to remove this burst fry. It didn't help. There's a plugin called burst fry. It also removes noise. But this is good for like vocals, trumpet, violin, saxophone. It's only good for post-production. After you record it, you can use it to remove your background noise and things like that. So I'm going to remove it, because what I'm showing you, I've already tried it. I'm showing you what I've tried. I'm making a video of something I discovered that is so amazing, and I'm sharing it. So there are many things I did that wasn't good. I'm not telling you all those things here. So you have to really, really believe me. I've tried a lot of things, not just one day, like months and years, and each time I come up with something. So I don't know. So the input gain, the input effects is that if you load in a plugin and if you play, I would have loved to show you, but I'm not going to do that because the video will be 10,000 hours. If you load in a plugin, now I know you can load a plugin on the normal place. That's that when you, okay, let me just do this for example. If I play this guitar, all right. Now, if I add some effect to this, that is this. If here is not input effect, this one that is one you add after you've recorded the stuff. So we have input effects, and should I call it, what would this be called? Post effect, whatever. The normal way you add effects to DAWs. But this input effect is a little special. You will not even see it. Most of the time it's hidden somewhere. So in your DAW, it could be really, really hidden. You have to might check a manual or ask YouTube or find a way to get it. In this case, is here with this Reaper, the main, the one that this skin that comes with Reaper, you can kind of see it very easily. Or you can right click and find your own input effect. They might call it something else. If I play this one with the output effect, the okay, so if I turn the effects off, listen. It's off. Okay, that's the effect I use I use this effect for vocals. So don't worry about that. I'm just giving an example of input effects and the normal effects for a DAW. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm not talking about this one this one is after you've recorded, you add an effect. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about while you're about to record, your DAW can be used as a mic pre or as what do they call it? Mic pre. What's it called? It was give me the word. Was like a mic preamp, virtual. What do you call it? When you add compressor, limiter, blah blah blah, de-esser, but before you record, like for example, think of the Avalon. Oh my goodness, what the fuck is going on here? Think of the Avalon 7th Avalon 737, Avalon 737 VP or so, or Manly. Like it's got compressors, got limiters, got EQ, really, really amazing, something like that. But you can use the plugins in your computer to do that. You've got plugins that can do everything hardwares can do. But most people use the plugins after they've recorded. But you can use plugin that the plugins can affect the recording on the way in. Not only you have to have a UAD. You don't need to have UAD for that. You can use any sound card. You can use any computer to do that. As long as you can look for your input effects, whatever they may call it. So it's like the effects goes into the input before it's recorded. So once you get that, then here's the plugin that you're going to use. Only one plugin. Only one plugin. Trust me, I can show you rows and rows of plugins that you could have used. But after trying all the different combinations, only this one is the best, where I use just one plugin. This plugin is by what's it called? Melda Productions. See, and it's the MT Turbo Comp. In the MT Turbo Comp, you have all this different plugin, different effects inside, emulations of Neve, I don't know what, and all kinds of stuff. You click the expander. When you click the expander, just look at this, take a screenshot and copy my input. Trust me, this is freaking out of this world. I've been tweaking these things for a long time. This is because if you tweak it different from this, like for example, if you play one note, I had other tweakings. I had other settings that when I play one note and then it doesn't do it, it doesn't make it perfect. Like the noise comes out later or too early. I don't want to explain all that to you. I'm a nigger. We straight to the point. I'm telling you, just copy this. I won't tell you all the nitty gritty and all the settings and all. Just copy this. If you don't believe me, get this plugin, have your own setting, and then use it. And have this one that I've done, and then use this. See how this is much better. So to save you many hours or weeks, this setting is amazing. So get to the expander. MT Turbo Comp has the expander. So when you open it first, just find a way that this one can open on the side. Click the expander. Say, look at all my settings. Even the dry wet is not 100, so that you can hear some of the background noise or the hiss of the. Should I even explain to you? Just trust me. Copy this, because if I turn this off right now, okay, what I'm going to try to do. So let me turn it off. I come in here. In my case, I turn it off. The effect is there, but I disable it. I'm going to try to record something. I don't even have to prove it to you. So let me see. So I'm going to try to record right now. Okay, the reason I played those few notes, if you didn't, you might be playing normally. You might be playing all that solos, but this one, the way I played it, this is how you know. This is how you know it's perfect. Because one thing about non-suppressors, most of you know that already. One thing about non-suppressors. Okay, let me record my guitar too. Okay, I can't record the guitar right now and show you. Just look at my computer screen. This is like it's perfect. Okay, I'm not even using the noise suppressor yet. So let's hear it back. Or let me record with the effects. So I recorded this dry. Let me record again. This channel here, and I'll click this input effects thing. Then it's here, but I've got to go ahead and what's it called? I've got to engage it. So now it's on. Now that it's on, whatever I record, even if I put a reverb there, the reverb will be printed with the with the guitar or the. I'm talking of guitar in this case. Please, your case might be bass guitar, could be a microphone you're recording vocals or rapping or something. So don't just let this be like it doesn't apply. It applies to you. Unless you're not intelligent, it applies to anything you record. Because guitars produce a lot of noise, so this can make your recording much better. The quality will sound even much amazing. So now let's record again with the input effects. Okay. Now you can see with this one, it's a little less loud. Now you might be tempted to want to normalize and be like, if I want it louder, you be fooled to do that. In this case, because I've fooled myself too. Because once you make it louder, then you have all the hiss and all the noise that was hidden before now coming back. I don't think you heard me. So just keep it like that. So even if you have other instrument, all you have to do is increase the volume. Just keep it like that. Don't bother about normalizing it. Give it volume and just maybe from here a little bit. It might be because like this guitar is raw now. If I add effects, it will sound big. By the time I do EQ and compression, it will sound larger than life. So there's no need to force it with like sometimes you're doing mastering. Maybe sometimes you record a song. Check this out. I don't want to show you some of the songs that are not yet released. You finish recording a song, right? After recording the whole song with all the tracks, then you render it or you export it, but you keep the master volume very quiet. Maybe it's like 20% of the full volume, and then you render it out. You now take that one and master it. The mastering will be so amazing. It'll be so amazing. So there's no need keeping it loud, because you can always increase the volume as you're mixing the song. So even if the mixing is low, you can increase it in the mastering. So trust me, what I'm telling you right now, if somebody told me this 10 years ago, I'll be so happy. I'm not saying normalizing is bad, but for this trick, just to keep the guitar so clean that even when you play quietly, it's like pure silence. All the guitars you hear all over the world, they are noisy. But because there's drums, there's vocals, there's bass, there's keyboard, you don't notice that they have noise in them. This one is perfectly almost noiseless. It's almost impossible to get this kind of sound in a recording. I'm telling you. So all the way the volume was lowered in this mixer. I didn't tell you something else. My camera is turned off. In the Motu, your mixer. I missed to tell you something. I said you plug your guitar through the mixer and then to the audio interface. With the mixer, it's okay to give it volume from the mixer, because if you give it volume from the mixer, in my case, if it's the Motu, somehow it doesn't like how can I tell you, the self noise of the Motu or your mixer doesn't reflect in your recording, because you pass through the mixer to the sound card. If you increase the volume of the sound card, let me call it sound card because this audio interface is too scientific. Sound card. So by me reducing the volume of the sound card, the self noise of the sound card and anything plugged to it, maybe from guitar or from a mixer, they all reduced also. So if I increase the volume from the mixer, it's better that when it goes back to the sound card, the volume is lowered. I can't explain it to you. So in my case, in the case of the Motu, I have my volume till about 18 plus 18 dB. Plus 18 dB of the Motu, which means it's loud. You just keep turning your mixer loud, or I don't mean the mixer, the channel of the mic of the guitar loud till you get it enough, till you get it loud enough where there's no noise. So you want to be careful that you don't want to hear any shh. So just make it low but loud enough. If you have the Motu, turn it to like 18, like I'm telling you. Like if I close it all the way down, okay, what this? Even if it goes all the way down, you're still gonna get sound. I'm gonna put it like here in 18. Okay, so that's that. So let's play the. Now let me close the volume of my guitar so that you can see and I'm also going to close the volume of the sound card so that you only hear the recording directly. So it is a normal one. This is with all the settings I told you, the way you plug your guitar through the mixer to the sound card, the levels and everything, your cables not on the floor, your earthing cable, you should still do that. So but there's no input effects. I've turned it off in this case and I recorded it. So listen. Let me lower my microphone. Let me lower my microphone so you can, because it's also adding some noise. Let me lower my microphone. I won't be able to speak. This first one and this second one, this is the one with the input effects. This is the one without. So this is the holy grail. And I've showed you the setting that I used, which is this setting right here. But make sure it's, because the thing opens so big, make sure it's turned on, because you might not realize that when it opens up, you might think it's on, because it's so, I don't know why it's so freaking loud like that, but it's an amazing plugin. Oh my god. If you're a musician, a producer or whatever, and you work with computers for recording anything, and you don't have Melda Productions plugin, you're missing out. I don't want to say you're crazy. You're missing, because you don't know. You're missing out a lot. Oh my god. The thing looks so ugly. I won't say it's ugly, but it doesn't look like wow. But man, this thing can do some stuff that no other plugin can do. Crazy. Ooh, my goodness. You hear an accent like mine. I don't sound American, and you may not believe I know anything because of the stereotype of what the media makes the world feel like. Who's supposed to be smart? Who's not supposed to be smart? That plugin is amazing. You gotta believe me. You might not be hearing it from the mouth of some very famous producer, but that's an amazing plugin. Or even not only that plugin, I mean the company. They do lots. It's a bundle of different plugins. It's almost maybe 50 plugins. This is just one of them. My goodness. So anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna close my microphone so you're not gonna hear the hiss of my mic. You see, this is self noise of the gain. If I lower it, you wouldn't hear that noise. So by lowering it, that noise doesn't look. The noise that is not there while you're recording wouldn't be there after it's recorded. Listen to this. I don't know how to explain this to you. You see. If I record it low, the noise is a little bit there. But if I normalize it, it gets loud. How can I explain this to you? Listen very carefully. If I record it low like this, for example, I'm not recording guitar, but I'm just showing you noise. You hear that shh? Now it's quiet. If you record it quiet, maybe the guitar or anything, you don't hear the hiss. But maybe the waveform is very small. But by the time you normalize, those noise will come back. At least a little bit. So, because I try everything, I'm sure I've tried it. Look at all these recordings here. It's test. And some other ones that I deleted. These are all tests, I'm sure. These are all tests. So just don't bother yourself. Don't try to reinvent the wheels. Someone is sharing with someone is telling you, just take it and run with it. What I'm trying to say there is that, listen, if you record hot and it's a good level, my guitar making noise now. See, it's on the floor. Watch it. It's on the floor. I take it up. See what I'm saying? Now it's not making noise anymore. And again, it's very, very high. I put it where I told you it's supposed to be. Oh my God. So listen very. I'm sorry. I'm not showing you my guitar. What I'm saying that if you record hot, you have the self noise of the mixer and noise from the instrument that you're recording. They all have noise. Microphone, everything have noise. So if you record hot, it's going to be loud and all good, but it brings all the noise with it. Okay, so it's bad. Don't record like that. And if you record by lowering the recording level, all the noise like this, it will be quiet. Okay, it will be not loud enough. The waveform wouldn't be big enough. But if you record like that, if you normalize, the noise still comes back. It becomes the same thing. It becomes the same thing, but it's a little better. Only that if you can record so quiet that it's loud enough, but you're not gonna have to normalize, then there's no noise. Like it's like if you can record from the get go, a good enough level, and you don't have to normalize. But from the get go, it's all without noise. That's what I'm trying to say. Like from the get go, from the onset, it's all clean. Whatever you could do. So have the recording level low. I won't say recording level. The input gain low to the point that you don't hear any. And please use your I didn't say it. Use your headphone. Forget about your studio mixer. Forget about your studio speaker that costs $1 million. Forget it. Use headphones, because you wouldn't hear all this. I'm saying you must use headphones. You can hear all the little nuance of noise that is in there. So use headphones to do this, to check. And then after you check all this, then just save everything and make sure that you remember all of these settings. Okay? I hope I'm still recording. Yes. Oh my God. So anyway, I won't say more than that. So all I'm saying, okay, let's hear this again. Let's hear this one. Okay, so in this case, I wouldn't bother trying to make it loud, unless maybe unless if there are other instruments here, vocals, guitar, bass, things, saxophone, trumpet, I don't know what, hi-hat and shakers, then I might want to increase it. But rather than increase it, then I'll increase it gently to fit the mix. But even if I increase it as much as I want, you wouldn't even hear any noise in the first place, because there are other instruments playing. You won't hear any of the, I'm calling it noise. I'm an African, so we don't use too many. We can say noise, you can say hiss, but we just use simple terms. We don't like to crack our brain. We don't like to crack our brains too much when it's not necessary. Because it's still noise. Shh, it's noise. It's noise. It's something that you don't want. So all I'm saying, okay, if I want to recap all of this, let me recap. This one is loud. Okay. It's got hiss with it. You heard that me at the beginning of this one. This was the test I did before, which is normal, which is the normal way I would normally record, even better than what I used to do before. You see that? That's the one. This is the one I normalized. See, I normalized it. It's loud, but look at all the noise in between. Look, it's quiet here, but then when the guitar starts playing, in between the guitars, you hear that even with the noise suppressors, you hear the noise coming in between. So normally with this, you may not notice all the noise in between. If this was, oh my goodness, this is crazy. This recording is so difficult. The cable of the laptop was disconnected. Okay, so wow. Even if I now lower it again to just be like normal volume, the noise is still there. Although in a mix you wouldn't notice it, but we're not talking about a mix. We're talking about it being perfect. Because if every instrument that you played, if every track has a little bit of noise, and your song is finished, it won't sound as amazing as if it won't sound amazing compared to if each of the instrument are noiseless and clean and pure. That's what I'm trying to say. You might be like, it's not noticed. It's not noticed, but to be noticing the feeling. If everything is clean and have no noise, you will know that the recording will sound so amazing. Sometimes a song does well, not because sometimes because a recording is well done, it also can add to the fame and to the success of the song. You know, in this world full of competition now with recordings and everything's getting high and high quality. Bad music, but most of them are good recording these days. So why should yours be any less as amazing? So what this? So the problem is that when I'm talking to you, my mic is also adding the hiss to it. So now look at this. You notice that this one doesn't have any noise, even in between. Even when I play like sustained noise, normally the noise will come back while it's sustaining, and the sustained sound is getting quieter and quieter. The noise will come back, but it doesn't happen here. Even though in this case I'm not using the noise suppressor, but I'm still going plain. But everything I explained to you from the beginning, the long ass video, it made this very clean and very amazing. If I now start to give it volume and normalize it, it will be all screwed up. I just leave it like that. Just leave it so. If this bothers you that it's not big enough, if it doesn't look like it's big enough, there's a way you can increase the waveform view. The waveform can look bigger. That way, maybe you're satisfied with it. Sometimes people are, some of us are very, minus me. Some people like to see the waveform big before they feel comfortable. Otherwise, their hands are itchy to want to increase the volume. So you might want to increase the waveform to make it look a little bigger. I don't remember how this is done. I think in this case we click shift, I think, in the Reaper. I don't know. Don't remember how to do that. But I don't care about that. So, but check this one. I'm sorry I've not been able to play both of them side by side. Okay. But listen to this particular one, the one that the main one. you can hear is very very quiet. Another way to know if your recording is ultra quiet, play a section of, like for example here, there's no music here. There's nothing here playing. There's no audio here. Now it's impossible to achieve this kind of quietness. It's not possible. You see that? There's nothing there. So if your level of where there's no activity sounds almost as good as if nothing is recorded at all, then you got it. Watch it here. See that? Between this place and here, almost no difference. There's audio here. This is extraordinary. This is freaking extraordinary. Watch this. Compared to where there's nothing at all. Almost the same thing. Even this one too. But I wouldn't use this one because the noise is there. It's there. Here it's not there at all because here I'm not using any noise suppressor. I'm calling it noise suppressor. That thing is more than that. It's an expander. Let me try to make this one a little louder so it can be. And check this out. Check this out. What I'm saying that this guitar, there's no effects at all. That's the interesting thing. You've not added the compression. You've not put the limiter. You've not put the EQ. You've not put all the special effects. You've not even. By the time you add effects to this, they will sound like freaking glorious. It should be like a keyboard or something, like very clean, but yet it's real analog. What's it called? Real. Yet it's real organic. Something real live guitar being played. So I think I made the video. So I'm gonna recap everything. The biggest thing in this whole thing, I'm showing you how to record clean and perfect without any noise at all. Any noise at all. Is this plugin, M Turbo Comp, but it's got a whole host of stuff. Come into the expander and copy my settings. I've not even saved it yet. But thank God for this video, I can come back here and see the settings and just do the same thing. Copy this setting and save it. You can see here, it's playing now. See, it's noise suppressing. It's doing a good job by making it so natural you don't notice it. For years and years and years, I'm sure many of you have been working with expanders and noise suppressors and de-essers and trying to get them as natural as possible. You know it takes you a lot of hours if you're a very picky person. So I think that is it. So just do that. But make sure that this thing goes into your input effects so that as it's being recorded, the effect is burnt into it. But if you don't use that setting, trust me, it's not going to work, because by the time the volume goes, but when you play something and the volume goes down, the noise that was suppressed before starts to come up again, like in between when you were like maybe talking, you say yes, 1, 2, 3, all those silence, the noise comes back. Only maybe when you keep quiet, you won't hear any noise. But while you're talking or singing or playing, the noise is heard with the audio. And once you don't play or don't sing, it's quiet. But you didn't do nothing. You only stop the noise and the silences. But the noise is with the audio. In this case, the noise is not with the audio. Not because the plugin can do that. Bruce Frey can do that, but Bruce Frey would destroy the quality of the audio itself. So I didn't bother using it. You can use Bruce Frey after you've recorded, but there's no need now because it's so perfect. So this is really crazy. So apart from the plugin and the special setting, which is your plugin goes into your input effects, you also want to make sure that the way I talked about your guitar is plugged into a mixer first, and then from the mixer and from the mixer also you also have leveler, so that leveler compressor, set it just nice with some EQ is important. Like also this guitar you are hearing, it doesn't sound like this. It doesn't sound like, okay. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I'm going to turn off the EQ of this guitar. I'm going to turn off the EQ. Because now the video is getting long. But let me see if we can turn off the EQ. EQ. Okay, watch this, huh? Let me increase my volume. Watch this. Okay, let me turn the EQ. Oh, the EQ is actually off. Sorry. No, EQ for my... EQ for the guitar I meant. I did do that. Okay. Oh, it's been off all the while. Oh. Wow. Thank God for this video. See that? Listen, yeah? Let me turn it off. See the difference? Watch this. It's off. Turn it on. See? Let me turn it off. The one with EQ is much better. It might not be translating to your hearing. Is glorious. Off. Let me turn it on.